that I needed, not even bills or anything. I just got up and paid them. That's how it was. That's what passive people do. That's why I said I can relate to being passive, because that's what passive people do. We don't like to confront anybody. We don't like fussing. We don't like doing all that stuff, so therefore we'll sit there and let you take advantage of us, knowing on the inside that it's hurting you. We'll sit there and buy friends all day long. Am I right about it? We'll sit there and buy friends. We'll have things just so people can come around us. But on the inside, when everybody leaves, when the party's over, when the lights come on, we're there hurting. We're still hurting on the inside. No matter how much we just parted with our girlfriends or whatever, we're still hurting on the inside from that passive behavior because we swallowed our needs. We begin to feel powerless. We allow people to push us over. But when you can advocate your own worth and your own needs, that's a blessing. When you can speak up for yourself, that is truly a blessing. And it allows you to gain your power back. The power of life and death is in your tongue. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything other than that is of the devil. It's of the devil. And you lose all your power when God has given us this power and this authority to speak the things that we need. Not only speak the things that we need, but the things that we don't have that we know that we need, we can speak these things into existence. The power of life and death is in the tongue. How are we speaking today in this season? Are we speaking victory? Are we speaking life? Are we speaking things to come? Are we speaking against ourselves? Are we feeling negative on the inside while on the outside wearing makeup and smiling, while on the outside looking, how do we say it? We're looking victorious, but the inside jacked up. So we must learn how to speak and be our own advocate, because the devil got several advocates. He don't mind sending them people in your face to break you down. He don't mind. And if you don't have some backbone in you, some spiritual backbone in you, you will break down at the first word of you're not good enough. And you'll feel like you're not good enough. So now you'll behave like you're not good enough. Passive behavior. Instead of enjoying the benefits of being assertive. Instead of feeling that power that God has given us. Jesus died for this very moment. You know, even in the moment that my son went through, you know, Jesus died for that. So I knew everything was going to be all right. But there were some people out there that were speaking death into the atmosphere. They were speaking death into the atmosphere. I looked at my son and I said, God commands life in the mighty name of Jesus. While somebody was saying, call the undertaker. My God, how are we speaking in this season? Do we even believe the words that are coming out of our mouth? I can honestly and truly say that when I speak before you, whatever I'm talking about, you best believe I have lived it. And I have found that this does work because it's of God. It's not my view of things. It's what God has given me to give to somebody else to set the captive free. Glory to God, because where the Spirit of the Lord is liberty. So if we don't learn how to advocate for ourselves, the devil will speak up and send people that will do it for us, and we will lose our power. We won't have no control. And that's how I feel like my son felt in that moment, that he lost all power. He felt like he wasn't in control. But glory to God on tonight, he is in control. He is in control. And I feel like there's a lot of women out here who feel like they aren't in control, and that's why they allow men to talk to them any kind of way. That's why they allow their best friends who really ain't their best friends to talk to them any kind of way. You know, the kind of best friend that's your best friend, but they low-key putting you down negatively. Amen. We have low-key people who will put us down negatively and still smile in our face and say, oh, yeah, that's good. You got to pay attention. You got to learn how to advocate for yourself. You got to gain your power back. You got to learn how to communicate assertively. Assertive communication. All right. So the next thing is, the benefits of being assertive is better relationships. When you are selfish or in an aggressive relationship, or when you are aggressive, you don't expect your relationships to be good at all. Whenever you are just aggressive and passive, you're not looking forward to anything. That's a heavy weight that you don't have to carry, but because you won't allow your mind to think bigger, you won't allow your faith to take you somewhere that you've never seen before and somewhere that's never even entered in your heart before. You stay back here. Well, I'll wait to see what he's going to do. I'll wait to see what he's going to do. Or business relationships, well, you can go in and get somebody. I might not can do nothing today. Or you allow people to talk down to you in your business. It was a woman who talked down to me in my business. And I spoke up. I said, no. I feel very confident in what God has given me to do. Because my abilities in my might, it ain't my might. It's his might. That's how I'm able to do things. I'm anointed for it. That's how I'm able to still, stand before people no matter what situation. And don't mind talking about it. Don't mind being a witness for the Lord. Because that's where my anointing is. That's where my healing is too. If you hear at the beginning, I started off a little slow and sluggish and a little tiring sounding. But as I began to get into it, God lifted me. He anointed me just for this. He anointed me for Kiva advancement, to come on and let women know that this is a real world out here. There are real people that's going to talk down to you and declare that you are nobody. They're going to declare that you can't have the house that you want to have. They're going to turn you down. Listen, you may hit many no's before you obtain a yes. And they'll try to make you feel less than because of those no's, not understanding that when you look at it in the spiritual point of view, the spiritual point of perspective, that God has greater than what they're offering. I might have to say that again. God has greater than what they are offering. So you have to learn how to, even in your relationships, be assertive, even if it's with your family members, your co-workers. How about even some of the janitors? If you ever pay attention to janitors, they always have a story to tell. Guess what? Because they're everywhere. As I was in that hospital last night, I noticed something that I just happened to look at that woman. I said, they get to come in and see everybody in every room. Some of the doctors don't even see every room. You see what I'm saying? So they know stuff. And when you take time to speak to someone and just say, hey, how you doing? You'll be surprised the stuff that will come out. Just because somebody have a mad face don't mean that they're not nice. Their face just might be wired like that. That's the way I look at it. Their face may just be wired like that, or they may be having an off day. But when that woman walked in and I looked at her, I said, hey, how you doing? And she was like, all right. And we began to talk. And guess what? I had Bishop G. Patterson playing in the background. She said, I know that man. And this was a white woman. She said, I know that man. He sounds like Billy Graham. And we began to talk and talk. So see, when you communicate assertively, you can begin to build even relationships that didn't even look like they were going to start. That woman did not look like she was about to speak to me. But I had confidence, boldness to speak to her, knowing that, we have to appreciate people right where they are. Not try to make them who we want them to be, but appreciate people right where they are. And she was the janitor. I didn't look at her as any less as anybody else. She was just as important as the doctor. If she don't keep the rooms clean, guess what? a lot of infection going to spread, right? So everybody has a role and a purpose in this life. And when we learn how to communicate with one another more effectively and to behave better, some of us got some nasty behavior. Some of us can be saying the right thing but behaving wrongly. And you know, it causes confusion when you get like that. It causes confusion among you. That's about like when you see the church ladies. And sorry, church ladies, y'all got to take this. You see the church ladies, they have all the right words to say to uplift you, but they have too many boobs out to encourage you. They have too much stuff showing to encourage you. And you're going to be looking like, okay, well, if she can dress like this, this is how I'm going to dress. And then you're going to begin to attract people who are going to look at you just for your body and not your mind and your heart. So relationships are definitely better when you learn how to talk assertively, when you learn how to communicate with assertive. Assertive. Okay, couldn't get the word out there. But in this season, that's what we need. We need a season of learning how to communicate effectively. And let me see what my time is, because I have the scriptures here. Okay, I got some time, y'all. I got some time. Glory to God. You know, in this season, good things can happen when you express yourself in an assertive way. When you express your needs directly toward one another, good things can happen. Even if you have fallen out with your brother or your sister, and you go to them, you speak to them assertive, guess what? Good things can happen. And the Bible teaches us if they don't receive that, they don't receive your effective communication to them, shake the dust off and get on about your business. So what does the Bible say about assertive behavior? Because, you know, to be assertive is to be bold and confident in your speech and your behavior. Being assertive can be positive qualities right along with, the trustworthy qualities. It allows you to be more direct. We can ask God to give us that quality. You hear that? We can ask God just like Paul did. We can ask him to send the Holy Spirit to help us. That way we will remain confident in our hope in him. Now, unassertive behavior is the opposite of assertive behavior. So write that word down, unassertive behavior. And I found that I've been in that position before as well. Unassertive behavior, now I am going to give you the definition of that, is not having or showing confidence in a forceful personality. So it just basically means being passive, unconfident, shy, timid, insecure. So unassertive behavior is not what we need in this season. We can't be shy when it comes down to asking for the things that we need and relating our message across from one to another. We can't be timid when it comes down to getting the job done. I don't know what y'all are doing in this season when it comes down to, like, your writing and stuff, whether you're writing or maybe you're starting a new career. Maybe you're trying to enhance an old career that you're at. Maybe you're trying to just bring life back to it. Well, I promise you, if you start speaking right, life can come into any dry area. Ezekiel taught us that. Life can come back. When you speak into those bones, life can come back into it. When you go back and you look at your vision board, life can come into your vision board. It's according to what's coming off your tongue, because that tongue is power. Again, you can either advocate for the enemy or you can advocate for the Lord and build yourself up through and by the Lord. Okay, let us go to, in the Bible, let us go to, I like this one. Proverbs. I got several scriptures down here. These scriptures were such a blessing to me today and helped me to understand a whole lot. I studied this all week, and I didn't realize that I was going to be